There's a lie we've been told. We were told nature is a family, like a Disney movie. But when you're clinging to the side of a volcanic fortress that Lewis and Clark called inaccessible, you realize the truth. This rock doesn't care about me. If I slip, it's over. This isn't a playground, it's a fortress. And today, I'm trying to conquer it. On July 15th of 1805, Captain Meriwether Lewis wrote in his journal about the Square Butte. He said it seemed to be a regular fortification, the walls of which were hewn stone, rising to a height of 100 feet. Lewis called it Fort Mountain, but we call it Square Butte. The problem is there is more than one butte in Montana and more than one that is called Square Butte. So the question remained, which one of the Square Buttes is the one he was referring to? And that's where my search begins. My search to try to figure out where Square Butte was, the Square Butte that Charlie Russell painted in some of his paintings and that Lewis and Clark called a fortress that was inaccessible. First, I came upon this butte right here. And we're going to hike around on it and discover if this is actually the one they were talking about or not. Now, this is close to the town of Square Butte. It's not public land. I'm going to stand behind this door so you can hear me. It's private land. So what happens is some private land works with the Fish and Game to do what's called block management, which is a program that allows the public to access private land. And what the state pays, the Fish and Game pay a certain amount per person that comes on their property. So they give you these maps, and now this one, they all work differently. Some of them you just sign in at a box and you can go there. This one you have to call and get reservations. So I have reservations for today and tomorrow. It looks like there's two separate areas here, so I got 1 and 2. So I'm going to take a look at these in a minute and kind of see what area I'm going towards. So I got to figure this out because I got two maps here and I'm not sure what they're talking about here. Sun's going down, so it's going to be kind of hiking up there until dark and then coming back. I'm bringing a coyote call along just in case we get a chance to try to hunt a coyote up here. Having trouble finding wolves, so I always take the clothes I'm wearing plus the long johns and then a puffy coat and puffy pants. Because if it gets cold somewhere and you get stuck, you don't want to be out there without some way to stay completely warm. That's for sure. One of the major problems with this kind of country when it's all open like this is there's always a lot of wind. Now, whole block management is different. So on this one, this is the parking area. So you have to park here. It doesn't matter that the road goes on. You got to park there if you want to go on in this area. So the rest is walk-in or horse riding only. All right, we got to get up this road quite a ways before so I can get kind of a view of that butte from a different angle. And then we might set up the coyote call, so we got to be a little bit quiet. Wind's blowing pretty good from this direction, so this road goes around. We should be able to get kind of the wind going in the right direction. Set up the coyote call up there. One thing you have to consider, some hunters get upset because, as you can tell, I'm on a road here. So this is a private ranch, and this road has obviously been used by four-wheelers. So a lot of hunters get upset that the rancher doesn't allow them to drive in here. I don't know about this one specifically. I mean, in general, they're like, oh, if the rancher can drive, why can't we? But you have to remember, this is somebody's private property. So even though they own a lot of property, they still get to dictate what happens to it. So you got to be
thankful that you have the access at all, because they don't have to let you go in here with any mode of transportation. So they're allowing you to come in walking only. Even if they drive past you with a four-wheeler and go exactly where you're going, they have the right to do that. It's like walking in your backyard. You have the right to do that. I think in a lot of cases, we have to look at things in a light of reality and being thankful for what we have instead of entitlement to something we don't have. That doesn't get you anywhere. Well, you can see the butte behind me there. I like to use Onyx maps to kind of see where I'm at because it shows my location. A lot of times when you look at a map, you can see where the road is supposed to go, but you're not sure if you're on that road or if you're past the fence line or before the fence line. So this really helps to know. You pinpoint your location. You can see the dotted stuff is all the block management area. So you can tell where it is you are. It's the town of Square Butte right down there. See the little water tower. As I got closer, this wasn't looking like a fortress carved out of the rock. You know, I'm complaining because it's always getting dark. It's always either getting dark or dark wherever I go this time of year. It's like you barely have time to get somewhere and start something, and then it's dark. Honestly, I don't even know where I'm going to camp tonight, so I don't even know that yet. I was just in Yellowstone Park, and those deer down there just stand there and let you take a picture of them, video, whatever. These deer up here, you can tell they've been hunted. It's the same thing with predators. When we first put wolves in Montana and Idaho, they weren't hunted for several years, and they became very brazen. They were coming right into the outskirts of Bozeman, Montana. People were seeing them right up next to their porches, trying to get their pets. This is incredible. You see this sunset coming. It's starting to set almost all the way around me. It's fantastic. I like to think about what it was like back in the day of Lewis and Clark, even though I don't put that into a fantasy world and think that we should be able to manage wildlife as if they were the same as in that time. But I love to look at this country. Look, it still looks like this. I mean, you might see a flat plain. What I see is an unbelievable prairie landscape. It's still a wild place. And it's a place full of wild game. I mean, I just saw some mule deer. I did see one coyote way down below, not where I could hunt them, but it's magnificent to see. I mean, I can see mountains that are 40, 50 miles away, probably 60 miles away over there. And I see the Sweetgrass Hills, which is on the Canadian border. That's the Canadian border up there. So that's probably 70 miles away. And I can see it from here. It's no wonder they call this the Big Sky country. It truly is magnificent, and the sky looks bigger because it's so vast. On this place, you have to stop hunting a half hour after sunset, which is sunset right now. So I'm going to hike up here and maybe set out my call, see if we can at least see a coyote, maybe. Probably not, because we're right out in the open and they've probably noticed us already, but we'll give it a try. And then we're going to have to hike all the way back in the dark, which is a couple of miles at least. It's really too late to shoot here. Now, coyotes in most of the state, you can actually hunt at night, but not right here. but I'm gonna set up the call and just see, just out of curiosity. It's the right time of day. Maybe I'll call one in for fun and turn this on. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I'm just gonna see if one will come in. Oh my goodness. I'm being so loud. There's no way now. So let's see. Let's go with the baby rabbit. The problem is, where I'm sitting, everything drops off. So if one does come in, it's gonna be like right beside me. You gotta be careful doing this because always keep your eye out behind you. There's always a chance that like a mountain lion will sneak up on you from behind or something. So trying to get at that call. You definitely don't want to do this in grizzly country. Now you always have to realize that once you stop calling, does not mean that whatever you're calling has stopped coming. So you have to always assume whatever started coming, just because it quit, doesn't mean they're going to quit. They're going to continue to come towards you and try to find you, find whatever that is. So you got to keep your eyes open now. Make sure you don't let your guard down. Problem right now is there could be a coyote right here behind this bush. I'd never see it. It's just too dark. I don't think that this is the one from this side anyway. So we'll go around to the other side and see if it looks different over there. I have a headlamp, but I hate wearing it because I think I can see better without it. I can see farther without it, especially out in the open like this. If you put your headlamp on, notice I'm not looking into the light that I have on. You look into that light, you can't see nothing out here. So you put your headlamp on, you can only see where the light shines. Your eyes adjust to the light, and then you can't see outside that light. So I like to be able to see a little bit further than that. So I usually don't put my headlamp on unless I'm in super dark timber or something where I can't see anything. I gotta watch my back trail a little bit just to make sure I didn't call in anything. I've got a long ways back to the pickup, probably 2.5, 3 miles. So it's gonna be a long haul in the dark. I carry a short pistol on my hip. It's a Springfield, and it's a 40 S&W, and so I can carry 12 rounds of ammunition, and it's really short nosed, meaning it's not made for any distance whatsoever. It's just made for something that's right in front of you, self-defense. So holy crap, that just scared the crap out of me. A bunch of Hungarian partridge flew up in front of me, and you can't see them, and not in the dark. Can't even see them in the daylight. Scared the crap out of me. Woo, gotta get my heart to settle down now. All right, we're back to the pickup. I guess I don't know what time it is. I was going to tell you how long it took me, but I don't know what time it is, so. This pickup's right here. It's now pitch black, that's for sure.
Going through the little town of Jardine, or Geraldine, I think it is. Geraldine. Gonna go out in the country here and see if I can find somewhere to camp for the night on the other side. The wind is howling out here. I'm just gonna crawl in here. Oh shoot, what was that? Oh, just my gun, just dropping my gun. I just found a little piece of public land and pulled off on the side of it so I can. One thing about it, this country over here, there's not a lot of campgrounds anywhere. It's pretty out in the middle of nothing. A lot of private out here. The wind's going to be a little bit of a problem, but hear that? It's flapping that plastic, but it's not very cold, so that's good. We'll head over in the morning to the other butte and see if that's the one that Lewis and Clark were talking about, and the one that Lewis and Clark were talking about, I am pretty sure is the same butte that Charlie Russell painted. So if we can find the one in the painting from the picture that I printed off, then we've found Square Butte. Gotta close that window. There we go. That's why it's feeling the breeze in here. It might be a little hard to sleep in here tonight because the wind is just making some noise, a lot of noise. It's blowing hard. I'm gonna watch this movie. This is called Conager. Conager is a cowboy in this one that shows up a little later, and he's the star of the show. He does a fantastic job. What a real man in this movie. You want the epitome of a man and honor and everything like that. This is the movie for you. It's called Conager. It's worth watching. We'll see you guys in the morning. Soon as it gets light, I'm gonna see if this other side of this butte is actually the one. But if it isn't, we'll head to the second one and try to get up on top of it, which should be an adventure. There's a special thing on top of the other one I would really love to show you anyway. I'm not positive if we can get up there. I think we might be able to, though. All right, here's one of the best lines in a movie.
Who gave you the black eye?
Somebody gave it to me, son. I fought for it.
Gentlemen, come in for a bite.
Good morning. It's 5:30. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it is howling out there. The whole truck is just shaking, shaking, shaking. I hope it's not blowing where I'm going. That would make that not very much fun. The wind is just shaking this whole thing. It is blowing so hard out there. Goodness. It's cold. It's so cold. Oh my word, it's snowing, it's blowing. She's snowing now. All that, and then I forgot my coffee cup on the front seat. Oh boy. That looks like fun, huh? All right, I'll be right back. Oh, man. Holy crap. It's cold out there. And windy. I'm not even sure the temperature is that cold or... Let's eat some breakfast. Bang my shin on the step. Oh, man, that hurt. Like, you're not feeling enough feelings with the cold and the wind and the snow, so why not bang your shin on something too? Oh, man. Now I'll get out my flint and steel. Actually, this is kind of flint and steel. Had a little dust in here yesterday driving down this road. But it just adds texture to your food, you know. I think about half of this will work. There we go. So I'm going to put some butter in this side. The truck's leaning that way. So if I put it in this side, I have a little bit of area I can cook the eggs in. Go. Pour out a couple of eggs. There we go. The reason I pack my eggs that way is because they're not, then you don't have to worry about them getting broken when you're bouncing around and hitting stuff, and because otherwise you put them in your backpack or something, or on a horse, your eggs will all be broken. So why not break them to start with? That's what I figure. I'm hungry. Now that I smell it cooking, I'm hungry. I got some snow in here. Look at that. I'm not really sure how if that's blowing up underneath the bed rail, because I'm coming in over there too. Huh. You put a piece of cheese on there and throw a couple of these up there to make sure it melts. You know, people think nature is like Disney because they watch a Disney movie. They see all these characters, you know, the animals all acting with morals and acting like they have family values and friendships and things like that. And this storm doesn't care. This storm doesn't care about anything. It will kill you just as fast as anything else. Now, I'm prepared because I have lots of propane. I got tire chains. I got all the tools, but nature does not care about that. And neither does a wolf, and neither does a bear. Neither does anything in nature. A cliff, you have to respect it to survive it. Careful, careful, careful. All right. That's pretty good. That's a hearty meal right out of the pan, man. Hot off the iron. Still smoking. I wish I could share the flavor of that, because that is really good this morning. My truck camper is blowing all over the place. Snow coming in. It's always nice to have a hot cup of coffee and a good hot meal right off the iron. All right. Blizzard was really thick and heavy. It's so cold. Oh my word, it's snowing, it's blowing. When I stopped on the other side of this butte to try to get a shot of it to compare it to what I thought Lewis and Clark's butte would be, I couldn't even see it. The backside of the square butte from where it was yesterday should be right there. You just can't see it. So I decided to go to the south and check out the other butte. And if you needed any evidence to show that the wind blows more than just today here, getting a view of the second square butte, I thought for sure this is probably it. It didn't look exactly like Lewis's description, but what it did look like was the painting by Charlie Russell. But I thought, let's go to the top of Crown Butte, which is just a couple miles away. And from the top, we'll get a better view of this square butte and perhaps find what we're looking for. I really wasn't sure how you were supposed to get up to the top of this butte. From the front, the cliffs looked impenetrable, like there was no way I was going to get over top of this thing. I found a piece of state land on the north end of the butte, but there was no sign other than the state sign. There was no sign to say this is where you access this butte. So I knew this couldn't be right. So I turned around and went back and found a parking lot with a sign that says park here and follow the trail. It was a couple miles up to the top and, of course, all uphill. The views were spectacular. The weather was actually very nice.
Boy, this is incredible.
This little cliff and the rim that surrounds this entire butte keeps the top completely isolated from the rest of the land. Scrambling over it, I entered a different world. Honestly, I didn't think about how big it was on top. And now I discovered I had another mile to go to reach the rim of those mighty cliffs I had seen before. Looking out at Square Butte from the top of these magnificent, high, impenetrable cliffs was certainly an experience that I will never forget. But one thing I didn't see was what looked like anything man-made on Square Butte. So there was only one more thing to check. I had to drive around to the Missouri River side of Square Butte and see what it looked like from that angle. As soon as I drove up to this, I could tell this is exactly what Lewis was talking about. So I'm convinced I found the Square Butte that Lewis was talking about in his journals, and also the Square Butte that is in the Charlie Russell paintings. I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize for the last part. I did something wrong with the camera and had absolutely zero sound, so I had to dub over it with my voice and a little bit of sound from previous clips. Hopefully you enjoyed this journey into finding with me the forbidden fortress of the West.